Um, As a preliminary matter, I'm Mary Ann Easley, Chair of the Council on Aging. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. So now I will take the roll. Please say yes if you're here. Allison,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Kendra. Kendra is here. Jude,
I'm here.
Susie is expected any minute.
Yes.
Linda, not yet.
Yes.
Mary Ann Easley, yes. Oh, Linda, are you here?
Susie.
Oh, Susie. Okay, great. And so we're only missing Linda at the moment,
And Nancy
and Nancy. Correct.
Yep. for absent. Okay.
So staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jericho,
In attendance?
Laura.
Here.
Okay, we have no speakers. Good afternoon. This open meeting of the Council on Aging is being conducted remotely. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law, and this meeting will not feature public comment. The Council on Aging is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes for Diane. And I think that's it for the script. Okay, now we can go to the next thing on the agenda, which is to approve the agenda for today, which really has only one substantial item, which is the Seniors of the Year. So can I get somebody to make a motion to approve the agenda?
Allison moves to approve the agenda.
Thank you. A second.
I second it. Judith.
Thank you. So let me call the roll to for you to say yay or nay. Allison,
Yay.
Diane,
Yay.
Kendra,
Yay.
Jude,
Yay.
Susie.
Yes.
Linda is not here yet. Mary Ann, yes. Okay, thank you. Now to the approval of the minutes of the last meeting. If somebody wants to make a motion to approve the minutes of our April meeting, please do so. Can I get someone to make a motion?
Allison makes that motion.
Thank you. A second?
Susie seconds it.
It's Kendra.
Kendra?
Oh, Susie and Kendra, second. Just as part of discussion, Diane, I want to point out one thing, and that is pretty high up in this. You mentioned the Nantucket Council of Nantucket, which I think you meant to say the Nantucket Council on Aging. So
Okay.
you might want to make that one change. After that, are there any other comments on the minutes before I read the roll to get approval? Okay, so if you approve the minutes, please say yay. Allison,
Yay.
Diane,
Yes.
Kendra,
Yes.
Jude,
Yes.
Susie,
Yes.
Linda, not here yet. Mary Ann, yes. Okay, moving on to our task for today, which is to decide the Senior Man and Senior Woman of the Year for 2022. Everyone should have received all of their packets of information. And we have a smaller list to choose from of nominees than we did last year. So perhaps that will make this easier. I want to suggest a way of approaching this and then invite anybody who has any opposition to that to say so, or if you have a better idea. But I was thinking that maybe we could just go one person at a time. Well, first take the woman of the year and then later take the man of the year. And go one person at a time and just give the number of the person that you think should be the woman of the year. And then just, I would add up the numbers and see who came out with the greatest number of votes. And at that time, we can actually discuss if that's the person we feel comfortable making the senior of the year. So I don't know if anybody has any comments about that process, or if you want to do it a different way, now is the time to speak up.
Well, first of all, do we know that all of them have not been nominated before or not have not been named? I mean, I didn't check against the list, but
Well, we know that none of them have been named before, but some of them may have been nominated in the past.
okay. And I'm assuming that they're all over 60.
You know, this was Laura was the person who vetted all of these.
Okay, great.
Coming in. So Laura, are you still here? No.
I am still here. I didn't vet them. I didn't even read them. I just passed them on to you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I didn't know I was supposed to vet them.
well, when you look at the list, do you see anybody who's possibly younger than 60 years old?
No,
Well, I don't know number 5, how old she is.
Who's number 5?
We can't
I
talk
know.
names.
Yes, I know her.
oh,
She's definitely a
Okay.
senior. Yeah.
What about number 8?
Yes.
Okay. And what about number 12?
We don't even know his last name.
I know, so we can probably strike that one, right?
That was so bizarre.
So now we only have 7 men.
Yeah. I think that we can feel pretty confident that all except the person without a last name qualifies as a senior. So any other considerations before we actually see how people voted?
I have a little trouble looking at being a well-rounded volunteer instead of just volunteering for one organization or only seniors. Is it every volunteer position that they hold, whether it's for seniors only or any place?
My understanding, as long as you volunteer, you don't have to volunteer for a senior organization.
Okay.
Is that the question?
Yep, that was the
Yeah,
confirmation.
as long as you are a volunteer in the community and not paid for your volunteer work, you qualify.
I have a question. Am I on mute? Yeah. Was this, the questions different this year? I mean, it just seemed that the responses, their reasoning for their nominations were light. I mean, it didn't feel like anything, maybe because there weren't that many nominations. Maybe that's what it was. It just seemed like the last few years have been so much more abundant in either the names or their reasoning behind their nomination. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there weren't a great deal of in-depth achievements and reasons for nominating.
Well, I mean, yeah, achievements, I mean, just the reason, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe, my question is the nominating papers that you filled out, were they weren't different?
No.
The nominating papers were not different, but I agree with you. They were light on specificity in terms of why the person they were nominating qualifies for this recognition. I had the same reaction to it. They were pretty light on specifics.
Do you think it was because of COVID?
Oh,
Because of the, you know, the, I mean, I don't know, everybody's in the last couple of years kind of seemed, I don't know, it just felt light, maybe because of,
It seemed like most people were just nominating somebody based on their own personal knowledge of that person, instead of saying to the person, I'm going to nominate you for this. I'd like to get some specifics about what you're involved in. That would have helped in most cases to get more specifics, but I'm just guessing at why there wasn't one.
I
You
had,
know,
go ahead, sorry.
for people that I know, it's, you know, I can use my own personal background, knowing who they are and what they're doing, but I don't know everybody. I know most of the people on the list, but not everybody. So,
And do you ask the person whether or not you should nominate them?
we've had people that have been nominated and won that didn't want to do it. So obviously you don't have to.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
I sort of think that number 4 might have already been asked, but didn't take it, but I can't remember for sure.
It's funny that you said that because I think I remember that too.
Yeah, and I'm remembering, this just came to me, that last year we specifically came up with a second possibility in each category in case the person nominated decided they didn't want it. So we may have to do that today too. Oh, okay.
Allison, do you know
Yes.
that you're not on the FaceTime, that you have a church thing on there?
Yeah, I know. I was at another meeting and I was on that thing, so sorry. As soon as I
Okay.
finish eating, you can see my face and I'll take that off. But you know how, and another thing that I think we might have taken into consideration last year is the actual age of the person. Like if you're 60, you might have another opportunity to get nominated and
I
win
don't know if
again.
I don't, you had brought that up before, and I don't think that's relative, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I mean,
Okay,
that,
good.
in my opinion, I don't have any reason for it. I just didn't feel like it was relevant, but
So
could be wrong.
I have a question. So are you saying that if somebody was nominated previously that we can't put them on the list again, or?
no,
Oh, okay.
no.
Because I think we had Jack Gardner and a few other people that we were talking about
Susie,
last
don't
year.
say
and-
names, okay?
Sorry. We had an individual whose name was something.
Well, the numbers.
Anyway.
But if they aren't
Well,
nominated,
he's
this
not,
year,
he's
then
not on it.
Oh, I'm sorry, right.
but so we can't nominate him if he's not on the list.
I was just wondering, and that's why anyway, you get my drift.
So are people ready to vote?
Ready.
Your first choice? Okay, so I'm going to start with the list of for the Woman of the Year. And I'm just going to go down our list of members and ask for, by number, who is the person you vote for? And then I'm going to tally the number of votes for each person. So if any of you will be doing this yourself, I appreciate the backup, to tell you the truth. This is a lot easier if we're all together and there's a whiteboard, but that's not the case. So it depends on my mental acuity here, which.
No, we'll help you.
Good. Okay, so by number, Allison, who is your first choice for Woman of the Year?
Do I have to be first?
This is in alphabetical order.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna say 15. I'm gonna do my top 3. How about that?
No, I'd rather just, I
Okay,
know we did that last year, but I think this with a shorter list might be just easier with number, who's your first choice?
okay, I'm gonna go 15
15 is your first choice.
and then 9.
You can only have one first choice.
Oh, okay, 15 is my first.
Okay,
Is your only.
so number 15 has one vote. Diane, you're next up. Who is your first choice for Woman of the Year?
One.
Okay, that's one vote for number one. Kendra, who is your first choice?
One,
That's
no,
two.
8. Wait a minute. I don't know. 9, no, wait. I'm only doing that to be a pain in the butt, sorry. 1,
One is, okay, one. So now number one has 2 votes. Jude, you're up next. Who is-
Number 1.
Okay, that's 3 votes for number one. Susie, who is your first choice?
Number 1.
Linda is
ding,
not
ding, ding.
here. Linda is not here, and Marianne votes for number one as well. So here's how it comes out. Number one has 5 votes, and number 15 has 1 vote. So I guess now is the time for discussion. Are people comfortable with that person being named Senior of the Year?
I am.
I am.
I
I
am.
am. I am.
Oh, and I am. Oh, gosh, that was so easy.
Yeah.
So now I guess if there's any chance that this person might turn it down, shall we go through the same process to vote for who would be our second choice?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so Allison, who's your second choice?
15.
Hmm.
Diane, who's your second choice?
9.
Okay, so 15 has 1 vote, 9 has 1 vote. Kendra, who's your second choice?
um. 15,
Okay, 15 now has 2 votes. Jude, who is your second choice?
I never thought about this. I'll go with 15.
Okay. Susie, your second choice?
9.
9? Okay. Linda is not here, and my second choice is 15. So number 9 has 2 votes, and number 15 has 4 votes.
Correct.
So is there anybody who's not comfortable with number 15 being our second choice if number 1 decides that she does not want to accept this?
I'm
I think
comfortable.
that's great.
Yeah,
May I ask a question
Absolutely.
for minutes? For minutes only. Last year I put in the runner-ups, I think we called it at that time, and named them. Should I do that this year? Because we did have a discussion on that. We never came to a conclusion, but I remember in my notes, the next meeting that should we put in the runner-ups as well?
Well, I would suggest no, but I don't know how other people feel about that.
Okay, that's what was brought up last year, so I want to make sure.
Anybody else have a comment about that? Whether this goes into the minutes, who's the runner-up?
Well, what if
Well-
the first person doesn't take it? Then we have to,
Well,
and I also have a question. Why would, I mean, maybe for minutes wise, if we looked at next year, this year, next year's, okay, wait a minute. You know what
last
I'm
year.
saying? If we look at it next year for this year, can't we then say, oh, well, number 15 was our runner-ups? Oh, no, so it's not, it all has to be a brand new year, so.
the thing is, we're voting on this, so all the votes should be in the minutes. Do
Yeah,
you understand what I'm
I
saying?
don't have I don't have an objection either way, whatever the majority rules is good.
Well, what does Robert's rules have to say about it?
I
I don't
Don't
think
know.
Robert's rules covers things like this.
no.
And so Jericho, as far as a town thing goes, would it be wrong to put the runner up? Because we have to choose one, because in the
I
past,
I would say you both need to have a runner-up in case the first person is unwilling or unable in some fashion, and that person would have to be written down in the minutes.
Okay,
Just for the public record, so that all of the decision-making is transparent and easily
right.
looked at. So you don't necessarily, you can write down in the minutes that number X and number Y were selected for first place and runner-up respectively. And then that would, I think, avoid having to actually outwardly put the person's name on the record.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to announce in the minutes, which won't get read till after they know about it, when the
Mhm.
minutes are approved in June. So I will put who the senior male, man and woman of the year is. And then, I don't know, I have to figure out a word. I can say number 9 and number 15, whatever it is, whatever it ends up being. And not name them, just put the numbers in it.
Yeah.
I just went around the river just to get to that point.
No,
Sorry. A
no,
long,
it's not a-
long select board meeting last night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And jury duty to sit in. So I can just put the numbers in and not their names.
Yeah, for right now, I
Right.
think you can just put the numbers in, and then when we approve the minutes, we'll write down like the person who ended up winning and put that in the public record, substituting for the name.
in the
Perfect.
event that number 1 is unable to accept the nomination, number 15 is the next choice or something.
I know, but it's kind of messy because then I'll be saying Joe Blow is the senior of the year. If Joe Blow can't, if, I think we did so-and-so is the senior of the year, blankety blank is the runner-up.
I guess just
think
do
it
what we
was
did last year.
Why can't you just say, and a runner-up was chosen without,
Perfect,
a runner-up was chosen?
perfect.
Ooh, lightning.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know it.
serious rain too. Okay, is everyone ready to move on to the senior man of the year?
Yep.
Okay, going alphabetically on our membership again. Allison, which number is your vote for senior
3.
man of the year? Number 3.
Yep.
Diane,
16.
okay, number 3 has 1 vote. Number 16 has 1 vote. Kendra, who is your vote for senior man? Kendra,
Oh, yeah, 16?
16 is your vote?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's 2 for number 16. Jude, you're next for senior man of the year.
Number 11.
11.
Okay. Susie, who is your vote for senior man?
Number 10.
Okay. Linda are still not here? Okay, and Marianne, I vote for number 3. Okay, so that means number 3 has 2 votes, number 10 has 1, number 11 has 1, and number 16 has 2. So we have a tie here for the two people with the most votes, which is number 2, which is 2 each, is number 3 and number 16.
So do the people who voted for 10 and 11 want to revote for one of the 2 top ones, or how do we do this?
I don't know. How would you like to do this?
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
I'm assuming that one of these 2 top vote getters is going to be our first choice and the other one is going to be our second choice.
Yeah, that's why I thought the people who chose 10 and 11 should choose either 3 or 16 unless, but maybe they have reason to not choose those people.
It would be nice if in the future we have a better description about what each of these people have done in their past, so it could give me, who doesn't really know either party, an opportunity to make a decision. I really don't know either one of them, so it's uncomfortable, but I think in
There
the
was a
future we
lot-
have to,
Susie, there was a lot of information about number 3.
you're right, but not all of them.
Oh, correct, yeah. correct.
And,
not
and
all.
so it's hard if you don't know enough.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I struggled with that. It was just number 16. I did a lot of volunteer work through the years with him for, and continue to, but I was torn between 3 and 16.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I could definitely go with 3, back to 3 because of that. And like I said, that was what I was saying before, is the applications were very light, except for number 3. And 16, I've just been because of church and stuff, so.
Yeah.
And if
So,
I'm mistaken, I thought that number 11 had turned down the last time, when he was.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, then maybe I just made it up.
so I'll put my vote for number 3.
Okay.
And which one did you vote for before, Jude?
11.
Okay.
And I'll change mine to number 3 too.
And you were 16 before?
Correct.
So how would
So-
people feel with number 3 being our choice and our
Oh,
backup person?
A question. Whoever voted for number 10, do they want to
That's-
choose
that's
somebody
Susan.
else?
That's Susie, who's on the phone right now. That's Susie.
Okay,
But now, even without her changing her vote,
We don't need to
number
choose.
3 now has 4 votes.
okay.
So my question is, how comfortable are people with making number 3 our first choice of the year and number 16 our backup choice for the year, since that person also got 2 votes?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
And I have one more question. Do you reach out, Mary Ann, to the backup person?
I don't.
Tell them,
Only if the first person says no.
okay,
So is there anybody who's uncomfortable with us making number 3 our first choice and number 16 our backup choice?
Nope. I'm not.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. All right, so that means that our woman of the year, if she accepts it, is number 1. And our man of the year, if he accepts it, is number 3. Our backup choices are number 15 and number 16.
Didn't this take us like 4 hours last year?
Yeah. But it's interesting, the first person on the woman's and the first person on the man's won, and the last person on the woman's and the second to the last on the man's won.
so wait a minute, for the backup for the men, it is
16.
3 and 16,
16's the backup for the men.
right? And 3 is the,
Yes.
just want to make sure that everything,
Wow. I think the bird shit's getting cleaned off my car.
Yeah, it's raining hard.
There's like
We're not
4
getting
inches.
anything here.
There's like 3 or 4 inches of water on the roads already.
It's like spitting over here, as my mother would say.
Can you hear it over here, Kendra?
holy macro.
Yeah,
No.
no, it's really coming down.
Is it?
Actually.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at it.
Like, here, let's see if I can. This will, no, that's not gonna reach.
I can see. Oh my gosh.
So
See,
is
it's funny because here on the Cape Cod where I live,
Kendra, look.
oh
Oh my
wow. Oh God, please don't come that hard. My backyard will be so. I just planted everything. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any more discussion of the senior man and senior woman of the year?
I have a question, not about the voting, but about the luncheon. do you want me to reserve our traditional day for the luncheon in June? And if so, is that representative of the 21 and 22?
The luncheons that never were.
Right, but now, because I have the certificates all signed for the recipients of the 2021, but on the certificate, it says, the Nantucket Male Senior Citizen of the Year for 2021, presented on the 27th day of January, 2022, because remember, we were going to do that then, and then COVID got worse. So we haven't even presented these to those people yet, and the state certificates haven't been presented to them also. So are we going to have a luncheon in June for 4 recipients?
I think so.
Me too. And I think that we can say, instead of the year of the Lord, we can say in the years of COVID, we present you, you know, your man and woman of the year. I just think that it's unusual, and we have to keep playing that up.
Yeah.
So I will call Fairgrounds and see if we can get the 23rd of June. And then we will go from there, and I guess I will reprint these certificates and have everybody re-sign them with the correct date on them. I'm not sure if we can get new ones from the state with the correct date on them, but I will check.
Sounds good. You can white it out.
Not if it's state. I you know, I think that you should leave them, because I mean, they were, all right, so they were submitted from the state as you were the senior of the year, right?
Correct.
And that was the year that you were the senior. And then the ones that are done for this year are June 23rd, and the ones that we wanted to give.
It's not the year that they won will still be on there. It's the presented date. It's going to be presented on the day of whatever that date is. And I can't white it out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, again, I don't have a big opinion either way, just for convenience sake, keeping the regular.
I mean, if it's easy to do, Laura, I mean, if they can just sign 4 at once.
It's easy for me to do. I just reprint it and send it down to admin, and then Erica gets all the select board people and Marianne and Joey Gear to sign it. And it's easy for me. I don't know how easy it is for the state to change it, but I can ask them if they can. Because it would be nice to say, and maybe
Yeah, no, I
theirs
think
doesn't
they-
even say presented on a certain date. Ours does, and that's easy to change. So I'll check with them.
Yeah, whatever you
So-
think is best, Laura. I mean, that's a,
Right.
you know, as long as the year that they were
Right.
awarded is the correct
Exactly.
year.
Okay. So okay. I get, okay.
And then another little housekeeping, are we gonna, are the seniors of the year from last year still gonna be able to invite people to join them? I mean, I think it should almost be an even Steven thing. We have to double it up this year because we couldn't do it last year.
The only doubling up is going to be the people, the recipients and their family members. The same amount of people from COA and CEA are going to be invited. So it's really only going to, it'll probably only be another 12, well, could be another 20 people. So, but then it's only 2 months away. It's a lot of work. We got to see if NCEA will pay for it, which I'm sure they will. So do you want to do it in June? Do you want to do it in September?
Oh my
Or
God.
should we just go with it? And Ginny and I will.
Let's just stay on the schedule that we used to have
Okay.
ideally, and then if it doesn't work out for some reason, we can be flexible, but let's do it.
Okay.
And so what is the maximum number allowed in fairgrounds? I mean, could we up that a little bit?
I think it's 75, but I will, when I talk with them, I will ask. And don't forget, we need an MC for that.
I think Jericho should do it.
Very, very important. No town employees.
No,
I think you should do it, Allison.
Aren't I a town employee?
Are you a town employee? No, you're just on a town board. No, because who used to do it before?
Chuck Gifford.
Gifford.
Yeah, he was on COA.
Right, and I asked him this year and then it got canceled, but he said no anyhow, so.
Yeah, he's
Well,
off
maybe-
island.
Um,
So anyway, I just want to make sure that your ducks are in a row before Ginny and I go full fledged on this, because it's a lot of printing. We got to talk to everybody, you know.
well, let's put our thinking caps on as who could, who would, like, maybe Mark Donato. He likes to talk.
But Allison, you're a TV personality.
Oh, right. I mean, I guess I could do it since I'm a TV personality, but
We could just give you a script.
if we can find someone more interesting than me,
But you definitely have I have a script, basically. I have an agenda of what you're going to say, and you can ad lib as you would like.
I think you'd be good, Ally.
I mean, as a fallback, I'd be happy to do it, but let's see if we can find someone a little more interested. I mean, unless we think it's good for someone from our COA to be this MC.
I think it would be appropriate.
It
Either
always
you or
was.
Mary Ann, or you guys could do co-MC.
Well, I just like the idea that your face is known. You do a regular TV program. You get plenty of chances to plug it while you're MCing.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can do it. But
And
if
it doesn't matter to me if you decide right now. I'm just letting you
Okay,
know.
great.
If you decide at the next meeting, I'm just letting you know that you guys need to decide. You
Okay.
can't get to the luncheon and have no MC.
there may be someone that would feel more honored than I do, I guess. But I'd be happy to do it if we can't find anybody. So we're good with an MC.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you, Allison, for doing that.
You're welcome.
Gee, thanks, Ally.
It's better than being the jury foreman.
Okay.
I'm the jury clerk for the Superior Court for Monday. So I didn't get a chance to share that with everybody, but
Gee, now it's raining harder. Are there any other issues at all that before we close the meeting that need to be brought up?
I did not sign up to renew my, to be on Council on Aging. I felt that I've been overwhelmed this year. Can everyone hear me?
yeah,
Yeah,
That's sad news.
yeah, we're depressed. So we
Sorry
aren't-
to hear that.
We'll miss you.
yeah.
Just feel like there's a lot going on and I don't really feel like I've done my part. There's been so many things that have gone on and I just feel that,
Diane, you've done more than your part just by being the recording secretary, honest to God.
You know, Diane, the same thing, I was thinking the same thing, because I was wondering, like, this year, the last couple of years have been really hard because,
yeah,
I mean, I thought I wasn't gonna sign it because I live over here, but then again, it's not like we're, running around ripping up the town by doing major things, so
but it
I
just seems,
understand what you're saying, and we will miss you, and
I'm having second thoughts about it. And if somebody doesn't put their name in, then I just have enjoyed it tremendously and I really struggled with this. But it's hard for me in the summertime because my business is, I don't know when I'm gonna be the busiest in the taxi.
right.
It's not like a 9-to-5 job or, and it was really difficult last year because we know the summer we had.
Yeah.
Um,
So do we know, or could we find out if there's been anyone who submitted papers to do it? I think I was ramrodded by somebody when I first joined.
Right, so my term is up at the end of June. I went there today. Just because I was really, after I had jury duty that I was excused from. And I went there purposely to ask that question and I started talking and forgot. Forgot what I was there for. So I don't know that.
I mean, the thing I worry about is, I mean, don't we have an empty spot anyway? You know, we've got to replace Vanessa. Her term wasn't up. I haven't put my papers in, but you know, if I could find some new blood.
Well,
with a
maybe
lot
we
of-
should all be looking for people who might be interested. And Laura, could I ask you to post something in the newsletter and on the
Board.
board?
Yes.
I mean, that's how I first came here. I saw your notice on the bulletin board.
You got it.
I invited Kendra and Judith.
Yeah.
I also, and I think I invited Susie and I invited Joyce Montalbano. So I think we need to reach out to our friends and people who we know will show up and be valuable and see if they're interested in, I mean, it's not a heavy load. It's not a heavy load to pull.
Oh, I
So-
feel like I think this board has accomplished quite a lot, especially this year with the two
Yeah.
grants. And I know that I wasn't part of it. And that's what I'm saying. It just, only because I just didn't feel like I had the time to do it. I just felt like I wasn't pulling my weight.
Well, I think you've found your groove as the secretary, recording secretary, and I know when I would sit in for 2 seconds for you, that's not, that's not easy. And I know I've been very appreciative of you doing the minutes, and
Me too, because I could never do it.
I'm
Thank you.
seriously telling you, Diane, and I'm not just blowing smoke, but I appreciate it, and I don't think you should begrudge yourself that you're not feel like you're, contributing, because you are very much so.
Okay.
And I appreciate it.
And so what is the maximum number of people we can have on the board?
9,
9.
And how many do we have now?
8,
And is that with Vanessa gone?
correct.
That includes Vanessa? So we see
No,
there,
when we had Vanessa, we had a full 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nancy Swain is not here. Linda Williams is not here. That's 7.
Vanessa is gone.
And so we have to replace Vanessa. And that would be 8. And there's still another one to be 9.
Right.
Oh, no, because Nancy is a member still.
Right.
So if we all stay, we need 2 more people.
Correct.
Right.
Well, I
So-
think that should be put on our agenda, and we take that as that's our marching orders for the end of this meeting, and everybody has to find one person to say yes to us.
Yeah.
There'll
and
be
have
a
to-
lot of no's, but
So Jericho, where does the town advertise it?
Hey,
I mean,
The town would advertise it. I mean, we could use some of our advertising budget to put a ad in the paper, or we can probably would be advertising town social media, and then the Salt Marsh newsletter, I think, is primarily where we would be advertising all this stuff.
yeah, because I don't know where the outreach from the town is to fill these boards, especially the ones that are not quite so popular. Not that this shouldn't be popular, but
I think go ahead.
no, go
I
ahead,
think
Diane.
I just think it's been a very productive board. I've been impressed. I just, it's tough like I said, tough for me in the summertime, and some the other boards that I had been on did not meet in the summertime, or July and August. And I just went in there thinking that this also did not meet in July and August. And
So Diane, will you be at our June meeting? You'll still be at our June. meeting.
yeah, I'll still be in the June meeting.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Okay, we need to find 2 more people, and so we'll all do outreach.
I think you could also look at NCEA. They might have people who would be willing to step up. I found from most of these things, word of mouth has been the most successful way to recruit. And then the other thing is that you can go to other boards. I know Council on Human Services may have 1 or 2 people who either would be willing to participate directly or would be able to mention that they or would be able to refer people. That's definitely a potential angle for recruiting people.
Great,
I'm
thank
gonna ask Rocky Fox if he'll do it.
Good point.
I just want to update people on the 2 grants. I so far have 6 people who have signed up to get the senior caregiver gift certificates. Since we need 48, I'm going to keep pushing the advertising. But we have 6 so far, and we're about to start in putting in grab bars and that sort of thing. So Steve Maylu is starting off as our installer, builder type person, handyman. And we have a first person who was, I haven't actually talked to her directly yet, but she was sent by the fire department who did her smoke alarms, and she expressed interest in a grab bar. So we're finally getting that off the ground too. So moving slowly, but moving.
So I've approached 3 people about the caregiving grant, and I hope that some of them are in the 6 that have applied. But I've encouraged people, one who is taking care of somebody out of the goodness of her heart, and she has resources, and she was like, no, this is not for me. And I said, you know what? People, treat yourself,
The
pretend.
only thing I would say is they have to be 60 years old at least. They must be a senior.
Right. Oh, so I wonder if
I just want to make sure that every single person, because this is a state grant, and we'll lose the grant if we don't play by the rules. So they must be at least 60 years old. They can't be 59.
okay. I wonder if that,
I agree with you. They should treat themselves. Why not?
I wasn't clear on that. I wonder if the people I suggested were younger than 60.
So
Oops.
yeah, I just wanted you to know that's the first requirement.
But they can be caring for people that are younger than 60.
Correct. The
Okay.
person they care for can be any age.
All right.
And I wondered what's happening with Walk Massachusetts.
Oh, nothing. I got to talk to Laura about that.
Oh, okay, because it started in May 1st, right?
Yeah, that's when you can start signing up. We should do that. Laura, what are you doing tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow?
What does your schedule look like? When could we get together about this?
We can get together anytime. Ginny's here tomorrow, so I'm good.
All right, I'll email you separately about when we can I'll put it together, because I just need someone to poke me and ask me questions. But I thought it was a great presentation that the what's her face gave us last month. So
I agree. And we all agreed we should launch this, so we need to do it.
okay, I'll be in touch with Laura tomorrow.
Great.
Okay.
Any other subjects or issues that should be brought up at this meeting?
Jericho, any update on COVID from you that would be helpful for us to know and share?
There's a lot of it.
Right.
No, we got our most recent wastewater sample collected immediately after Daffodil Day. It's not going to capture any of the spreader events of the last week or so. We're not doing surveillance testing, so we don't have anything like testing numbers to give you. But I would say right about the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be, like, you should be masking up in public pretty consistently. I think that we're going to have a ton of cases, and we might start seeing some hospitalizations in the next week or two following town meeting. But I don't have any numbers to give you, and I can't give you like a particularly granular breakdown of who's getting infected, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that's just, we're not capturing that information anymore.
Well, I can tell you that staff at the Island Home has come down with COVID. Staff, no one that's patient facing. I know that a friend of mine who had guests for the weekend, the guest went home, called, had COVID. So, it's coming over, and I don't know. I wear my mask. I wore it all night, town meeting, both nights. Shocked at how few people had masks on in there.
I was too.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have to go. I've got to talk to the minister that's doing Steve's service. So, and I said 2:30. So I'm sorry, I have to poke out.
I think we're pretty good.
Okay.
And prayers to you. You've been on my mind, Kendra.
Yeah, thank you,
thank
Kendra,
you.
and yes, condolences.
Thank you.
You've been on my mind too.
Thanks, you guys.
Seriously.
Stephen's service is going to be on the 15th at
14.
the 14th. Oops.
Yeah,
At the First Congregational Church at 11, right?
right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Kendra.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye, honey.
Bye.
I guess I forgot to mention Daffodil Day, just to remind people, the seniors of the year of the last 2 years were all invited to be in one of the antique cars. And Janet McKay did a beautiful job of decorating the car. It really was gorgeous, and so many rules around it because the owners, the whole Gates didn't want anything touching the car, no tape, no glue, no anything. But anyway, she did a beautiful job. And they all went out to Sconset, and we had a picnic prepared for them. I was representing the Council on Aging, but the other people helping out were from the NCEA. And so we had lunch for the 3 seniors who could make it and 13 of their guests.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it was quite a party.
I didn't realize that they were able to invite guests.
They could invite as many guests as they wanted. So there were a total of 13.
How many, so it was Joanne Polster and Rich Leone, and then who are the other ones?
And Jeanette Topham. And then, what's his name? Richards. He couldn't make it. He was already going off island. I can't remember his first name off the top of my head. But he was going off island that weekend, so he never could make it. He said no from the beginning. But the 3 of them came, and they were all in good spirits. It was great.
I can't even remember who that person was with Jeanette.
Was it Peter Richards?
Oh, Peter Richards, yes.
Yeah, he is a hospital volunteer, unbelievable hours at the hospital as a volunteer. Yeah.
And he's a UU volunteer too. He does incredible
Yeah,
stuff there.
His wife, Susan, is very involved too. Yeah.
What are we referring to? Because I don't know what we're talking about.
Daffodil Parade. The seniors of the year of the last 2 years were invited to be in one of the antique cars, a truly antique car, a Woody from, I don't know, 1760 or something like that. It really was old.
Did you send that out to us, or was that just something that happened?
It was actually the NCEA's activity. They did it. Now, I just got roped in at the last minute because some of them couldn't make it. They wanted me to sit in the car. I said no to that, but then I said, I'll make lunch. So that was my participation. And I will have to say, I've never done Daffodil in Sconset before, and that's my last time, as Laura will tell you. She came by and saw us there, and I was like, so I could not believe the insanity that was out there in Sconset. So I've done my bit in Sconset at the picnic.
And so Marianne, did you make the lunch or did NCEA pay for it?
I made the lunch and NCEA paid for the ingredients.
Wow, thank you.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What did you make?
I made 3 kinds of sandwiches. Everything else I bought, cookies, fruit, veggies, and a dip, and drinks, but I just made the sandwiches.
That's something.
It was something. Nothing compared to the fancy stuff that other people had, but it was lunch anyway.
All right, well, shall I move to adjourn?
Yes, sounds like a good idea. And thank you, everybody, for making Seniors of the Year easier this year.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's great.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Who made the motion?
Allison,
Allison?
I was full
I
of
second
movement
it.
today.
Second it.
Second by
Susie? Seconded.
Susie. Okay, thank
I think
you.
I moved 3 things.
Perfect.
Bye, everybody.
All right,
Thank you, Laura.
bye.